and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Cup Series, Quaker State 400 presented by Walmart. 400.4 miles, 260 laps, 3 stages, 60, 60, and 100 at Hot Atlanta Motor Speedway. That hybrid. Is it a mile and a half? Is it a super speedway? It's Atlanta. Alright, so last year we had some great racing there. We had that last lap pass. Joey Logano passing Brad Keselowski. So the top 5 of stage 1 was Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin. Stage 2 was Austin Cindric, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, William Byron. The final top 10 of the race was Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Corey LaJoie, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Ty Gibbs, and Kyle Busch. We had 2 drivers that were in the top 10 in both stages and in the race, and that was Joey Logano, first, and Brad Keselowski, 3rd, 8th, and 2nd. This will mark the 4th race on the repaved, re-imaged Atlanta Motor Speedway. Chase Elliott in 2 races, average finish 3.5 and a win. Remember, he didn't race in the spring this year because he was still out with his snowboarding accident. Ross Chastain 5.6, Eric Jones 9.6. Ty Gibbs, his only race was this past spring. He finished 9th. Ryan Blaney 9.6, Corey LaJoie 10.0, Brad Keselowski 10.6, Joey Logano 12.6 and a win. Martin Truex Jr. 12.6, Daniel Suarez 13.0. In just the 2 races last year, so we take out this year because we know they've learned a lot. Just those 2 races last year, Chase Elliott Ross Chastain average finish 2.0. Chase Elliott 3.5 and a win. Daniel Suarez 5.0. Eric Jones 9.0. Justin Haley 9.0. Martin Truex Jr. 9.5. Ryan Blaney 11.0. Corey LaJoie 13.0. Bubba Wallace 13.5. Brad Keselowski 15.0. Now I know a lot of people want to compare this to Daytona or Talladega. Yes, there are some similarities, but there are so many differences. Now I'm going to look at the last 6 Daytona Talladega races, what the average finish was for drivers, to get an idea of what in the Super Speedway package, and even some of the teams have said it's a modified package. And so it's kind of the same, but it's not. So Ryan Blaney averaged 7.0 Daytona and Talladega. He averaged 11 points. The 3 races at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 9.6. Kyle Busch, 9.8 and a win. Alex Bowman, 13.0. Austin Cindric, 13.8 and a win. Bubba Wallace, 15.6. Martin Truex Jr. and Daniel Suarez, each 15.6. Eric Almirola, 16.0. Chase Elliott, 16.1 and a win. And Justin Haley, 16.1. Those are just at Daytona Talladega. These Super Speedway races are so unique, so hard to try to figure out what's what. Before we do the picks, we're going to go over points. We have now, after Shane Van Gisbergen winning last week, we have 12 different winners so far this year. Obviously, SVG doesn't count toward the championship, so we have 11 different winners in the 16 playoff spots. Last year at this time, we had 13 different winners. We have 8 races left: Atlanta, New Hampshire, Pocono, Richmond, Michigan, Indy Road Course, Watkins Glen, Daytona. We technically have 4 wild cards if you count the 2 road courses as wild cards, so it could get interesting. Overall points right now, we have Martin Truex Jr. leading with 2 wins. William Byron second with 3 wins. He is 9 points out behind Martin Truex, and what matters there is the regular season champion gets 15 bonus points. But also, William Byron had a 60-point penalty earlier in the year. So he should be leading the points by 51 points, but he's not because his team screwed him on that. Ross Chastain is 3rd, minus 18, so he can still win that regular season title with a win. Christopher Bell is minus 21 with a win. Kyle Larson is minus 31 with 3 wins. Again, these are based on the regular season championship. And then 6th place, Denny Hamlin with a win, minus 53. Now, if he wouldn't have opened his big mouth on his podcast, he would be minus 27, but he got a 25-point penalty because he let go of the steering wheel and took Ross Chastain with him and then admitted to it 2 days later, or a day later. Yeah, don't do that. It's just like when you get pulled over by a cop. You do not admit what you did wrong until you find out what you're being accused of. Then we have Kevin Harvick, who's currently 7 points plus 151 to the cut line. 8 races, 151 points. Unless he has bad luck, he should be okay. Kyle Larson, 2 wins. Ryan Blaney, a win. Joey Logano, a win. Chris Buescher is plus 104. Tyler Reddick is with a win, sitting in 12th. Brad Keselowski, 13th, plus 90. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with a win, sitting in 14th. Like I told the guys on TMD Friday morning, what I'm looking at for this Atlanta Motor Speedway race is the cut line and how aggressive drivers below that get. So you got Bubba Wallace plus 15. Now we know he had a problem qualifying. He didn't make a qualifying lap. I'm gonna have to go find out why if I can. The fact he didn't even make a lap. They failed inspection 3 times. Their car chief was ejected and they lost their pit stall. Same way with Justin Haley and same way with Kyle Busch. So something's going on, and according to some things I read on Twitter, when Bubba was asked, he said it's secret. Which, I mean, I get it. If they've done something, they need to get in front of it. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't matter. You know what? Let the team handle it. He's going to run well, hopefully, see what's going on there. But the fact he's starting dead last, and a lot of things happen back in the pack, and he's plus 15 at the cut line, this cannot be good for this race. The good news is we got Michigan coming up, and he's really good at Michigan. I think he'll be pretty good at Pocono as well. Ty Gibbs plus 6. Daniel Suarez minus 6. Michael McDowell minus 10. AJ Allmendinger minus 24. Alex Bowman currently 20th in points. No win, so he's not in the playoffs yet. Minus 26. Think about it. The 48 was the other car with Hendrick that got the 60-point penalty. So he's minus 26 right now. So he would be plus 24. No, wait, plus 34. So he would be he'd be 13th, 14th points, but yet he's 20th outside the playoffs. 26 points isn't a lot, 8 races, but he's got people to go over. Then you got Justin Haley and Austin Cindric minus 45. Corey LaJoie minus 47. Chase Elliott minus 55. So what if one of those drivers gets the victory here? That moves that cut line down. That makes it pushing. As of right now, we push Ty Gibbs out. Bubba's on the bottom end. You got these. As the more aggressive these guys get, I think those guys will get as aggressive as well. Ryan Preece minus 66. He can finish last, as far as I'm concerned. Todd Gilliland minus 79. Eric Almirola minus 81, 27 points, and he's on the pole. So that could definitely, if he can stay up front all day. Austin Dillon, 28th, minus 130, 60-point penalty, so that's definitely going to hurt him. Now, like I also said when I was talking to TMD, we like stories in NASCAR. We like these, Austin Dillon won on the 20th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt Sr. winning. We like the stories of Kevin Harvick in his 3rd ever race, driving what was the Black 3 winning the race. Charles Myers, a longtime employee of RCR, former gas man on the number 3. He got to ring the bell and won the battle. Not the war yet, but he won the battle, and he did that on Friday. We got RC in that, again, what used to be a Black 3 that got painted white with the 29 on it. Out there circling the field, pop-pops. If there's any type of thing like that that's going to line up for Austin Dillon, it would be this weekend. But we'll see. Harrison Burton minus 136. Fastest in qualifying. Eric Jones minus 137. Chase Briscoe. This one is top 10 qualifying. Minus 171. He had a 120-point penalty. So he would be minus 50. So he'd be 23rd in points right now. 24th in points. But he's 31st. the Noah Gragson and Ty Gibbs round out those. Again, they can go as well as win as well. But so qualifying, we got Almirola, Blaney, Chase Briscoe, Logano, Harrison Burton, Kevin Harvick, Ty Gibbs, Larson, Todd Gilliland, and Austin Cindric in the top 10. Brad Keselowski's 11th. But in the back coming through, we have Bubba Wallace, we have Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell, Austin Dillon, Austin Hill in the Veer Motorsports car, Ross Chastain, Corey LaJoie's 28th. Some good cars. Chase Elliott's 23rd. This race could get wild because of all that right there. Cole Custer's in the 51 for Rick Ware. Hope he does well. He qualified 21st. So that's pretty cool. Priest qualified 13th. Yeah, he can just fall back, as far as I'm concerned. Now, what's going to make this year as unique as last year, if we look at the owner points, right now, the 9 and the 48 are in the playoffs based on owner points. So if you remember last year when Bubba Wallace jumped over the 45 made the owner playoffs because of Kurt Busch's win. So the owner points work like the driver points. Typically, they go hand in hand. But since we've had some drivers racing for Chase Elliott, we've had drivers racing for Alex Bowman, those cars still got points. The owners still got points when all these other drivers are in there. So the owner points right now, to a point matchup, Truex, the 19, the 24, the 1, the 20, because Denny Hamlin's point was driver only, not owner, the 11 is actually 5th in owner points, while Denny is 6th. The 8 car is actually 6th in owner points, while Kyle's 5th. And then we got Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, Buescher 17 car, and then Reddick in the 45, and then Brad Keselowski in the 6. Now here's where it gets wonky. Currently 14th in driver points is Stenhouse. 14th in owner points is the 9 car. Stenhouse in the 47 is 15th in owner points. Now Bowman is 16th in owner points to 48. So that drops to the 23 to 17th in owner points. So we could have the 9 and the 48 both make owner points. But like right now, the 23 and the 54, even though Bubba Wallace and Ty Gibbs are in the playoffs, their car number is not in the playoffs. So yeah, this could get more wonky than last year because of those two drivers. But hey, we'll figure it all out. We'll look at both as we go forward and see what happens. Hopefully, yeah. It's going to be regardless. I think we're going to end up with that. All right, now to the picks. All right, so let's do fantasy first. So Fantasy Live, I am in multiple leagues there on NASCAR Fantasy Live. My main league, I call it the main one, I'm in the TMD league. There with Mike and Pete in the morning, Sammy and Davey, and that whole fun group. If you don't listen to TMD and you've got XM radio, you need to. Those guys are hella entertaining. So I am currently, let's see here, in our league, I am 1,321st, so 1321. I got 3,142 points. It says Rob Sports Show. That be me. So my picks are going to be, I'm kind of load management here. If you're new to NASCAR Fantasy Live and you want to take a look at it, yeah, go on NASCAR.com, sign up for it. You actually get reward points as well, and so you can get merchandise and stuff online. And if you just check in each race, you can get the rewards as well. So you pick 5 drivers and then 1 person for your garage. You can change those out to any driver up until the start of the race. You can only use 1 driver 10 times for the regular season and 5 times in the playoffs. So my first pick is Joey Logano. I've used him 4 times already this year. So I'm kind of doing some load management, but since he runs well at super speedways, I definitely got him in there. My next 2 are Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, what RFK did last year, and I've only used both of them 1 time. So I got 9 more races for them too, so I'm going to go ahead and use them here. Justin Haley. Colic Racing always brings fast cars. Probably get a good top 10 out of him. I've only used him once. Corey LaJoie. I've used him twice this year. We know he's always good at these tracks. He almost won a couple years ago. And I got the old Georgia boy, Dawsonville's own Chase Elliott, sitting in my garage. What that means is during the race, before the end of stage 2, if, say, Justin Haley gets crashed out and Chase Elliott's still running, I can replace Justin Haley with Chase Elliott or any of the 5. And you can only do that with once, obviously, but for the end of stage 2, I can swap them out and get if Chase wins. I did that last week with SVG. I had him in my garage and I swapped him out and got the victory there. Got two top 20s this year, so it's fun. It's actually difficult. And then you also get points for featured matchups. So like the matchups are Logano and over William Byron. I pick Logano. Chase Elliott over Ryan Blaney. I pick Chase. Brett Keselowski over Alex Bowman. I pick Keselowski. And then Bubba Wallace over Ty Gibbs. I picked Bubba. So Logano, Buescher, Keselowski, Haley, LaJoy in my start. I got Chase Elliott in the garage. See what happens there. My picks to win the race. Gotta go with Chase Elliott. Dawsonville's own. Gonna go with Brett Keselowski. Almost won it last year or earlier this year. Ryan Blaney, we know he runs well. And then, how do you not pick Kyle Busch? If Daytona would have been the Daytona 500 versus overtime, he would have been champion. So those are my 4 picks: Chase Elliott, Brett Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and Kyle Busch. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.